Links down below in the description box. It will launch after June of this year, 2025. On April the 2nd, we're going to get some more information, probably hardware information at the Nintendo Direct. Most games will be backwards compatible, so you'll be able to play your Switch 1 games, both physical and or digital, on the Switch 2. The base Switch has a 6.2-inch screen. The OLED has a 7-inch screen. The rumor is 8-inch for the Switch 2, and that's based on actually seeing the Switch, which we're going to look at in a moment. So that's a 29% extra screen real estate from the base to the Switch 2, or a 14% increase if you're coming like me from the OLED 7-inch to the new one. We say rumor because it hasn't actually been stated, but when you measure it along with the Genki, Gookie, whatever that person's name was, their alias on the video that I made, they showed like a mock-up, and you put it next to an OLED, and it was a little bit bigger, okay? So those were the bullet point and pieces of information that I wanted to share with you. Now we're going to dig deeper into it. So when it comes to the USB part of it here, I had done this here. Nintendo essentially had created a custom spec that needed to be reverse engineered with the original USB-C port on the Nintendo Switch 1. And that was before third-party docks and accessories could function correctly, it says, without burning out the pins inside the console. With Nintendo adding a secondary USB-C port, you might expect that the console will actually use USB-C standards this time around to support accessories straight out of the box. So there's going to be a link down below if you want to read up on that here. Nintendo Switch 2 is almost going to officially be fully backwards compatible. Again, all from IGN, so that's the article on that. Then this is the actual reveal trailer. And then there's going to be some pictures here. So really quick, this is the Switch 1 at 6.2 inches. This is the OLED Switch at 7. You could see the difference in screen size. This here is a real picture of the Switch 2, but they also have an original Switch here, which in my opinion, they should have done a few one. Like the light, I think, is like 5.5. Nobody talks about the Switch Lite. That's got a 5.5-inch screen. You're under 6 inches, pal. Okay? We shouldn't be talking about that. In the middle here, there should have been the OLED, but we know that the OLED goes to about here, so there is absolutely no rumors about this. Sorry, I'm a bit itchy there. It is a fact that the Switch 2 is a little bit bigger, okay? Now then, if we wanted to, I just suggest that you watch this on your own. I also don't want to get copyright strike. But they show the original Switch, and then they show like how it's a little bit different. It also appears like there's going to be some type of magnet Joy-Cons, but it still kind of connects inside. I don't know if that's fully magnetized. It shows you here. See how it's like a little bit bigger, like it shows you how, okay? And here it shows you that there's going to be like a chip that connects to the side. See, right there. And then we'll just wait for it to actually go in. That's what she said. We're going to wait. But I don't know if overall, if it's magnetized. That's the part that I don't know. There's some kind of click. I don't really know. But I am definitely super excited for this for obvious reasons. I love my Switch. I have a gaming PC, a PS5 Pro, and I have my Switch. And I mean, I just cannot wait. See how it clicks in. I tried reading. I think it is magnet, but I also don't want to dwell too much on that. But we can, quickly, not that this is exciting because you could do this on your own, which is why I told you there's links down below to each one of these different subsections of the Switch 2. Now we can just quickly look through the actual official. These aren't leaks now. These are actual official pictures of the Switch 2. I just cannot wait. Just even like the extra round edges. I don't know, it just looks a little bit more sleek. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. To be honest, I'm glad it's not radically different. Looks like maybe the thumb pressing will be a little bit nicer. Who knows? The stand looks good. Yeah. There's that USB-C port, the additional one. There's the other one to go into the dock. Kickstand showing you how far back it can go. And again, when that clips into there, I would assume that there's going to be some kind of magnet. Otherwise, it would fall out. It doesn't look like it's like a hard clip. Otherwise, you would break, that connector piece. Almost looks a little bit more like with the soft edge. It helps if I, center my camera. Like it'll look a little bit more like the Pro controller that I have. Hopefully, it's more durable. Because, the whole drift thing. I've had it with every single console, funny enough, except for my Pro controller. I'm already, in all the years, because I'm a day one, good for me, person of the original Switch. Then I switched to OLED. When the OLED came out, I've only gone through one pair of Joy-Cons. My original Joy-Cons were shit. They barely lasted 5 or 6 months. And my other pair lasted me all the way until the OLED came out. Got my OLED on day one. Haven't had an issue. Haven't had an issue with my Pro. But when it comes to my Xbox, any Xbox controller, except for the very first couple of Xboxes, yeah, drifting. Same thing with PlayStation. Never had drifting on my PlayStation 1 or 2. But everything from... I think I had it on 3 a little bit, and then 4, even 5. 5, I'm on like my third controller. Okay, so hopefully that's a little bit better there. Just giving you all those nice high... Yeah, these are maybe the magnet. I really want to stop talking about them. I think I'm obsessing over the magnet because it's something that a lot of people have been talking about, and I can't confirm, and it's driving me nuts. Like, is it magnet? Let me find a reason as to why it could be magnetized. I'm just glad that we have these here. Oh, look at that right on the dock. Switch 2. That way you can't confuse it. And I like that more rounded look. I didn't really like the square look of the first dock. I mean, it wasn't terrible. What I really hated about the original dock is when you would slide it in, I had to put a piece of soft... Helps if I I move into the frame of the camera, rather. At the edges here, if you look at my Minecraft sword, inside... I ended up having to put a strip of soft Velcro so that when you put the Switch inside, you don't scratch the screen. But I also have a screen protector because some people were gouging their Switches even when they were being careful. So, and there's the, that thing to turn it into a controller. I'm assuming the Pro controller, I don't want to assume, but I am going to assume that it's probably going to be compatible with the Switch 2. So yeah, naturally, I'm incredibly excited for this. I don't see how nobody could. And regardless of what the power is, a lot of people were arguing, oh, it's going to be 4K, bro. It's going to be upscaled. There's no difference. 4K is 4K. We're not going to get into that goosiness. What we are going to get into is the obvious. For me, why am I looking over there? There you are. I'm hoping to be able to play Tears of the Kingdom at 60 FPS, even if there's no graphical boost, there's no extra draw distance, there's no extra resolution. I'm just sharing with you that I would just be okay with 60 FPS. And yes, maybe a solid 1080p, like a solid 1080. Okay, maybe a little extra draw distance. Okay, maybe a little ambient. No, I'm just kidding. But honestly, to me, the graphical style of like your typical Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, for me, I was fine with it. I think it's still a spectacle that that game ran the way that it did on such a small machine, a very dated machine. And if we can just get 60 FPS, right, like to me, that would be awesome. And because the Switch 2 is a little bit bigger, hopefully they can have a bigger, more powerful chip. Because again, bigger chip doesn't always necessarily mean more powerful. But yeah, it's going to be... it's going to be a blast. And the fact that it is coming out this year, it just means that this year is just going to be awesome. I mean, I can't even tell you. I've been very, very fortunate. It depends on how you look at it, of course. I wish I was a little bit further beyond the stars in our own galaxy, but with my YouTube channel, but I've been able to, just a few months ago around my birthday, October-ish, November, I bought myself, I pieced myself together a new gaming PC. Good for me. Then I was able to get a PS5 Pro just to kind of get that little extra oomph, even though I felt it was a ripoff. And now, if I'm really lucky, I'll be able to pre-order a Switch 2. No idea on the prices again. All that extra information is going to be probably coming out. When did I say? On April. Did I say April the 25th or just sometime in April? Oh, April the 2nd. Sorry. I had to look at my own notes here. On April the 2nd, we're probably going to get that extra information. I can't see it being more expensive than like a Series X PS5. I can't. But even if it is around that price, I don't know. We'll worry about it then. I just know that it's going to be more powerful, and I just hope that we're going to be able to get some good portable, solid 1080. Because remember, 1080p is just a resolution, right? If you increase the draw distance, the graphical fidelity, lighting, and shadows, 1080p can look amazing. You can have something on 4K, but if your graphical settings are on low, then it's shit. See what I'm saying? 4K, low settings, or 1080p high settings. I'm just sharing with you that I just want something that looks good, naturally better than the Switch 1, but I'm looking for myself a bigger bump, double the speed in the FPS with a slight noticeable increase in graphical fidelity. If we can get both of those things, that is going to be astronomical. That's all I got to say. I spent 12 minutes on something that should have been 12 seconds. At least I'd like to think I came out with the information fairly fast. You might want to check out IGN as a whole. They may have some more stuff, but to quickly recap, this is the talking about why it's not likely going to come out before June for obvious reasons, because they're still going to be showcasing it at certain events. The trailer, which is right here, a link to talking about the compatibility and bringing the major quality of life upgrade with a second USB port. I'm not going to bother. Well, maybe this one, yes. Just to kind of credit, like I said, where I'm getting my information from. Because it's a big thing. You talk shit. People are always like, source. Where did it come from? You don't give me the source, you're full of shit. Then you show the source, and sometimes, well, you can't please everybody. But there's the source. It's IGN, the CNN of gaming news, minus the the bullshit that comes with it sometimes, not always. So thumbs up. As always, if you did like the video, it does greatly help support that channel with the algorithm and trying to make me a little wee bit more relevant in the search results when people are looking shit up. It's a lot more than just a happy, feel-good moment I get seeing 2 or 3 likes on one of my videos. That doesn't do shit for me. The money does something for me. It's how I afford all this fancy shit. And you didn't like it. That's fine. Go ahead. Give it a thumbs down. You'll keep your thumb this time. I won't bend it in half and break it off in your ass. No. I'll just make sure that when you pre-order the Switch 2, it comes to my house, and then I'm just going to scalp that shit. Okay? And if you want to subscribe to the channel, naturally that would be great, and maybe I'll have it so that you actually receive it. And if not, whatever. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And maybe, if I'm lucky, I shall see some of you in the next video. Bye for now.